Morning, everybody. How y'all doing today? Nice morning here in Florida. Not too hot, not too cold. So a lot of people are down in Bradenton racing today, and I'm still here tinkering around. Today I'm gonna go through my timing, check all my timing, make sure my retard's working. Excuse me. Change out the jets, put the jets that we're going to start out with in it. We'll be talking a little bit about that. Just a few things we're going to do. We'll probably get it all set up and test fire the nitrous, seeing as how I've never hit the nitrous, and we'll probably just tap it on the micro switch, see how it does. Kind of clean the motor out, whatever. But other than that, that's the plan for today. I'll holler at you guys later. Okay, so I bought some jets. I put them in this little thing and kind of got them labeled, you know, what they are. But I'll look at them too. And the most important thing is when you take these jets out, that you blow through them, or just to make sure there's no trash or debris in there. But what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna take all the other jets out off the nitrous side. I'm gonna do one side at a time. Now, 7/16, these, you don't have to ream down on these. They're a tapered jet, so you shouldn't have to put much stress on the fitting, you know, for it to seal. Plus, it's just, there's no need in Gorilla tightening it on there. You know, I just barely turned them and they're coming right off. I've already taken one jet out just to see what jet was in there because I couldn't remember. But we're gonna do all the nitrous side first. I don't know, that one feels a little funky right there. I don't know why. Oh, when they start getting loose, the pressure or whatever is making it work. And I don't have the grip in my fingertips after I got burned like I used to have. Get that one off. Now that one's easy, so there might have been a little bit of stress there or something. So we'll just take that off and set it behind there for now. I'll pull these jets out. Not many people use these brass jets anymore. Everybody's kind of went to stainless. But so these are all brand new. I'm still gonna check them out and make sure they're right and everything. Make sure there ain't nothing stuck in them. Or the best way to do it is just to pin it to make sure that it's exactly what you're putting in there. They make like a little round pin, and it's the exact size of the jet. So kind of have me a little stool to sit on. There we go. Turn that just a little bit. But yeah, what I do is I just blow backwards through them to make sure there ain't nothing in. I'll look through it. I don't see nothing. It's clean, so we'll put that one in there. Make sure it looks good. Probably should have checked this. Since I don't have a pin, I just got to make sure they're all the jet that I'm putting in there. I actually probably will do both sides. Probably should have did both sides at one time. This is only the second time I've ever had a fogger system, and I'm used to the plate system off my Ultra Street car. So I got a lot of learning to do. I'm probably gonna burn a lot of shit up until I figure it out. Fortunately, Corey's gonna help me a little bit, get me going. So, and there's a lot of good people at the track that help you when you get to the track, you know. Some of these guys have got this stuff figured out so well that they can tune these things in their sleep. Feel like a damn drug dealer with all these little baggies. Well, I don't even know what that would cost anymore. It'd probably cost you $100 if you bought a thing of weed these days. I don't know. I ain't bought none in so long. I gave all that shit up. You should pretty much be able to finger tighten these almost all the way down and then just have to snug them up. But we got the fuel done. We got the nitrous jets in there. We'll put everything finger tight, and then I'll go through and just give them a little bit just to make sure we're good. Them two want to fight me for some reason, I don't know why. And you just go to just snug. They don't have to be, you don't have to rear down on them. This one here might need a little bit of adjustment on I mean, it's going down easy. It's not cross threaded or anything like that. That's the big thing. You don't want to cross thread them, because then there'll be you'll have to get a new piece to put into the nozzle. And just give them a little snug. Just you don't want them to leak either. But with that taper, it should seal very easy. A little tug on it just to make sure. And I always just check these just to make sure they're not loosening up, because the vibration sometimes will back them off. Just make sure you ain't got no leaks. That's the big thing. I'm trying to get everything situated so when I go to the track, I'm not gonna have no problems with my stuff. It'll be basically me just trying to get the car figured out, adjustments on the chassis, things like that. Hopefully I get everything worked out here. You know, the new car thing is it triggers all the time. People build new cars and they go through the growing pains and all that stuff of the new car, which I'm sure I'll have some problems, but you know, I'm gonna do the best I can to try and eliminate that problem before I get to the track. My goal today is to check the timing, activate the retards to make sure that it's pulling the timing out. I'm gonna flow the nitrous, get all that done, and then I'm gonna test fire the nitrous, make sure everything's working, and then we'll go from there. I'm gonna go ahead and do this other side up. I'll be back in a minute. All right, so I got all the jets done. Got a couple other things I want to do. Got a new cap, a new rotor. Couple things that I do on these are, because I phase it in with the crank trigger, but I also phase it in to whatever my motor's going to be at full timing. So when I set the crank trigger eye, I set it 34, 36, whatever. You know, if you've had an engine on the dyno, they'll tell you what your base timing is. I'm just going with 34 degrees on my motor. It hasn't been on the dyno, but I know it's going to be probably somewhere around 34, 36, which I'm not real concerned with that. I want to just be able to pull enough timing out to make sure that I don't hurt the motor. The other thing is the new cap. When you get it, I find out which one of these prongs is number one, and I drill a hole so I can actually see the rotor when it's turning. I can put my timing light on there, because like right now I think the motor is phased in at 11 degrees. So 34, I should be able to take about 23 degrees timing out of the motor, and it should be hitting dead center of the number one, which will make it where it's not trying to jump fire. If I left it on 36, the mark might be over here when I retard the timing. So it's always best to phase that stuff in, and you know, it's easy. You just take and drill a hole. Don't got to be a great big one. I drill like a 5/16 hole where I can put my timing light on it when I hit the micro switch, just see what it retards, just to make sure that I'm hitting. But you drill it directly behind the prong. And then the top of my rotor, I take a little bit of white paint and put on there just so I know I can see it. So it's one of the old tricks that people started doing, and it's easy. So I'm gonna get to changing the new cap, putting a new rotor in it. The motor, the ones that I have on there are from when the motor was original. So I'm gonna get that changed out and be right back. So I pulled my other cap off, and as you can see, that's the hole I'm talking about right there. So when you are phasing your timing in, you can look down through that hole with your timing light. Let me put this over here. And then just put you a little bit of white paint, try to get it in the center of your rotor. Is when you check it with your timing light, you're seeing that white mark when you're hitting the micro switch, and know that your timing is retarding. So, all right, on to the next. All right, so when I was replacing the rotor cap, I noticed that, I guess originally I'd put the cap on, the rotor on incorrectly. Put the new cap on and it was 180 out. Well, I flipped the cap over and I could see where I don't know if it was me or the previous person that installed the cap or the rotor tightened it up. It was probably me. I make mistakes, I'm not perfect. But there's a square on one side and a circle on the other side, so when you set the rotor down in there, it locks it in place. Long story short, I went through all the timing again, pulled the distributor out, turned it 180 degrees, put everything back like it was. It wasn't firing 180 out because the rotor was on incorrectly. The rotor was turned 180 degrees, which was making it fire correctly, but the cap and the rotor was a little wobbly. So it's in there good now. I drilled my hole for my phasing. The other thing that you can do is on your pointer, once you set your eye to 36, I turn the motor to 10 degrees, and that's how I line the distributor up. Because 9 times out of 10, the motor is going to be going down the track on only about 10 degrees timing. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more, not it's according to how much nitrous you have on your engine. But got that corrected. So now I'm gonna get the stuff together to flow the fuel for the nitrous and see how that goes. Be right back. All right, so I got my gauge. I installed my jet for flowing my fuel. Then what you need to do is you need to take the fuel line off of up here. Oh, let's see. One of them be easier to get to. Really need to go get me a wrench. Hold on one sec. I went and got me a wrench, made it a lot easier to get it loose. So go ahead and get this off. We get back through here for the time being. Don't want to get no kinks in it though. All right, now I gotta get a 5/8 and an Allen wrench. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and flow the fuel for the nitrous. I've already disconnected from my fuel out of the regulator to my gauge setup. This is my gauge. And then I have the jet that I'm flowing with is inside of here. So I just stick that in there, let it go back into the fuel system. I'll set this right here, kind of where I can adjust my regulator. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of loosen that just a hair. We're on 0. We're on 0, so that's kind of sitting stationary. That's good. I guess all I need to do now is go turn the fuel pump on. So right now it's flowing about 8 pounds. That's way too much. I like to go back past. We're at about 4 1/4 right now. I want to be 5 1/4, so I'm just going to turn it back. 5 1/8. We're sitting right there about 5 1/4 right now. So that's where I'm going to tighten it up at. Pretty good right there. Everything seems to be all right. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna turn it up just a tick. Now we're sitting dead on 5 1/4 right now, which is what I'm gonna start out with. So let me go shut it off, and I'll turn it back on just to double check. Still sitting right about 5 1/4, so we're good. checked the timing. It seems to be okay. Now that I fixed that rotor and cap, the car seems to be run a little better. So that's a good catch before I went out and, you know, tried to take it down the track. There's still some minor tweaks and stuff that, you know, I got to do, but I'm just trying to make sure everything's sorted out and everything's working before I actually do go to the track. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I think right now I'm gonna start it up and burp the nitrous and just make sure that it's doing what it's supposed to do. So hopefully this will be my one and only take on that, and I don't blow the heads off or carburetor or any of that stuff. So give me a minute and I'm gonna fire it up and we'll see where we're at. I'm gonna tell y'all a little story real quick. So I had a buddy of mine that I used to race with back in the day. I had another Chevy too, not this one, a different one. It was a street car, it had tag and insurance, it had a little 355 in it. They run like 6 O's on spray. And I was running late to the track. I'd put new pistons in it or whatever and didn't get time to test everything. And I pulled up beside my buddy Inc. Greenway, and I said, man, I got to check my nitrous, make sure it's working. He said, well, what are you gonna do? I said, well, I'm gonna rev it up and hit the micro switch. So I'm leaned over it like this, and he says, well, you ain't never had one ever backfire or nothing? And I said, no. I said, I ain't never had one backfire on me. So right then and there, I should have known not to do it, but he jinxed me. So I revved it up, and I reached over, I hit the micro switch. When I did, that thing backfired and burnt my eyelashes off. I swear to God, I never heard somebody laugh so much in all my life. It was the funniest thing. I didn't have no eyelashes. It burnt, or not eyelashes, but my eyebrows. So guys, make sure you don't stick your face over there if you're just testing it. That's why you seen how I was standing. I was standing kind of over here and out of the way, because I didn't want that thing to backfire, because I didn't know what it was going to do. You know what I'm saying? Fuel looks to be a little fat. That's why she kind of conked out. But I'm gonna put some new plugs. I've been running them plugs and stuff. So just some tweaking, man. You know, I think it's all gonna work. I got to get Big Country out here. Let's get the car set up, and I want him to go through all this time and stuff and just double check, make sure I ain't missed nothing. But my buddy Dennis over at R&R, he's gonna give me a chance to, or he's gonna get some of my stuff done that I need done here in a couple weeks. So I was talking with Corey, and we might try to shoot for the end of January at Bradenton for our first outing. So we'll see what happens. We'll go from there. I'm pretty much done for the day. I'll come back over tomorrow and do some more stuff, but hope y'all are having a good Saturday, and hope all the racers are enjoying themselves. Everybody's safe, and we'll see you soon. Uncle Mike out.